I'm in Wauchope today at Expressway Spares. I've got Patrick Cassegrain, who's the Executive Director of the company, and he's going to share us some special insights and a tour of the premises and facility here in Wauchope. And I'm excited to see what is a significant family business in this local area. Thank you for having us, Patrick.
Pleasure, James. I'm happy to be here and replace James. James just replaced me as Managing Director just a month ago. So with our succession plan, I've handed over the reins of Managing Director to my nephew, James. Yeah, I'm happy to show you around, guys. James, in here is our warehouse where we have spare parts. We have several different line products. We have what we call new redundant parts, which are parts that we buy outside of the original manufacturers.
Yeah.
We have what we call reconditioned parts, which we refurbish here. We have also what we call aftermarket parts, which are parts that are reverse engineered.
Yes, yes.
And they're made all over the world. We bring them here as well. And we have used parts, which is second-hand.
Second-hand. So people, do they come to you because they have a trouble finding a particular part?
We're a supplement to what we call the original manufacturer, the dealers. So we're giving our customers an option. The original manufacturers don't always have the parts available, so that's where we come in, or we offer second-hand parts or reconditioned parts, which most manufacturers don't actually have. James, you asked, is this our only place? No, it isn't. We follow the mining area, so we have a depot at Mount Thorley, which is the Hunter Valley coal area. Yeah. We have a depot up in Mackay to handle the Bowen Basin up around Rockhampton, Mackay area. Yeah. We also have a depot out of Gunnedah, again coal. And also we have a depot in Perth to handle the iron ore industry. Well, total we have 320 odd staff members scattered all over Australia. This is our first shed that our parents had. Now this shed was right on the highway up there.
So your parents, they were the founders, right?
Yes, correct. This is the first shed my parents built for spare parts.
Really?
To supply the timber industry.
It was Gerard and
Francois Cassegrain. And the skin's not original, but the building itself is original.
Yes.
And here's a replica of Dad's first truck that he had up at Yarras. So my father was a contractor, as I said to you earlier, James.
Yeah.
There's myself, Catherine, my brother Claude. We used to sit in the bonnet.
Yeah.
Dad used to go up and down the highway, and that's when Dad realised that the parts should be where the machines were working. Hence he started here for the timber industry. Yeah. Then the timber industry died, and that's when we went into the mining and construction machinery. Yeah. Well, you can see the growth over the years.
Yeah, it's impressive. Amazing.
We source parts from all over the world. We're not affiliated to the original manufacturer, therefore we don't have boundaries. Generally speaking, dealers have boundaries where they can trade in with. Yeah. We are not a dealer, so we're completely independent, which allows us to buy from all over the world, sell all over the world. So
obviously gives you a pretty unique position in the market because you can play where others have boundaries around brand.
Absolutely, we export to Southern Africa, to New Guinea, New Caledonia. So we're in the export business as well, exporting reconditioned components.
So to get those second-hand parts and reconditioned components, you obviously established some strong relationships over the time. I mean
creating relationships, James, is the biggest, the most important thing that our staff know what to do and how to do it. Yeah. It's something that we've always told them that's the most important part of the business, not only to buy but also to sell. And sometimes we get guys we're used to selling to go to another mining site or another job, they follow us and we follow them. Yeah. So creating relationships both in purchasing and selling is the utmost. See, in the earth-moving industry, if you haven't got the stock,
you're not servicing someone.
You've got machines that are worth $4 or $5 million. And if they can't afford to be laid down. That's where you've got to have the stock available. This is why we do what we call an exchange component system. Whereas
so you'll take out
they take someone's engine, we'll give them one refurbished. So in other words, their machines are only down for a week. Whereas if they had to do their engine up, it'll take 6 weeks.
Has that always been a big thing?
Absolutely.
Of your business, or is it growing?
That is growing. Before we used to just sell second-hand components. But now we refurbish all these components ourselves and give them the option of a second-hand engine or a recondition. Generally for the mining industry, they prefer recondition.
Yeah.
A life of one of these engines maybe in hours, I don't know, 60,000 hours.
Yes. Yeah.
But to do 60,000 hours, they get after about 15, 20,000 hours, we recondition.
Recondition.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rather than buying a new one.
Rather than buying a new one, it's a big savings for the customer. When the client gets that, it's like brand new.
Yeah.
It brings it to 0 hours.
Yes.
Safety is a big issue for us.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, last year we won an award, a New South Wales award for
safety.
For safety. So Joe, this is our machine shop.
Yeah.
We're really a recyclable manufacturing, so we get brownie points, or we should get brownie points for. We save a lot by refurbishing old
rather than having trouble buying new parts. Exactly.
So therefore, we're helping the environment by doing that.
Yeah. So you find it hard to operate a business like yours without these sort of capabilities, I'd imagine. You can't just have the parts. I mean, you're adding value to those parts by, you know.
Well, we've got expert mechanics. They're fully qualified diesel fitters. A lot of them started in the car industry and they've turned over. We put apprentices on every year.
So how do you find getting apprentices at the moment?
At the moment,
it's
very
challenging.
Difficult. Very difficult, Joe. This is what we had last Saturday. We had an open day to show students and future apprentices what it's all about. So we opened up the whole place to the public. My belief is that not every student matriculates or can or wants to. I believe kids these days maybe should seriously think of doing a trade, James, whether it's an electrician, whether it's a mechanic, plumber, and I know of a lot of tradesmen who make more money than people with degrees.
Yeah, and they are just as important jobs, and sometimes they're more important. You know,
Absolutely.
And the key thing is they're doing what they like to do.
Exactly.
And I think there's a lot to be said for that, isn't there?
Now this section of the place is where we do transmissions. These are transmissions out of heavy earth moving equipment. So they completely strip them down, refurbish them, and exchange component. We have one of our senior apprentices refurbishing a transmission out of Jane, what is it?
785D.
Yeah.
Caterpillar dump truck.
I've been in this section for about 8 months now.
Have you?
So yeah, I've been taught up over time. It takes a while to learn. Yeah, I've been here for about 4 years now.
And is this challenging?
It was at the start, but you get there. Yeah. Pretty good now.
4 years ago when you started as an apprentice, did you think you'd be doing this work?
No.
That's exciting though, isn't it?
Yeah, the advantage here, James, is that our apprentices do all these, whereas unfortunately a lot of apprentices on other sites, and maybe the mine sites, they don't do they don't go fully reconditioning of components.
Yeah.
So whereas our guys go through the whole lot, and when they finish their 4th year apprenticeship, they know they can do anything on a machine.
How many apprentices in a year would you typically try to?
Overall, we've probably put about 15 apprentices on. Right. So this section here is where we do engines. So James, we have 10 bays here to do engines. And here's Alan. Alan, this is James.
James.
Nice to meet you. Early stage of assembly. It's a 793 mine dump truck.
This is a Cat dump truck, is it?
It's a Caterpillar dump truck, 2,500 horsepower, one of the biggest engines we do.
So in terms of your reconditioning here, do you basically take it apart and rebuild it?
Yeah, this belongs to a customer, this engine.
And we strip it down completely.
Yep.
And Alan does it, strip it down and refurbish his own engine.
Yeah.
So they follow it right through, right to the end.
What's your trade?
I'm actually dual trade. I'm a mechanic.
Yeah.
And I'm actually a fitter machinist.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Multi-skilled.
Yeah.
Got quite a few multi-skilled here.
So James, you can see what we do then, and so we do an exchange because that takes 6 weeks to do.
So that client's got
a customer can't afford to have his machine down for 6 weeks.
No.
So we give him another one. It takes probably less than a week
to change out.
Change out, less than a week.
Yeah.
And then we get the old one in. This building here is where we do our testing of our engines. This is what they call the dyno. It's a brake. In the waters,
yes.
You've got impellers in there which forcing water opposite way, so it creates weight.
Yes.
It creates a load.
And this basically mimics the load that a truck or a grader or a dozer would be under in the field.
Correct,
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's a full service, that component switch out right the way through, isn't it?
Yes.
All about minimising downtime, pretty much.
Absolutely, that's what it's all about.
Do you get a lot of online interest and online sales?
Jane, what you mentioned, and I mentioned before, it's all relationships. You can dial up Expressway Spares and look at our website and all that, but 90% of our sales are done through relationships.
Yeah. How do you get some of the raw material for some of these products and what you're doing?
A good question, James. We go all over the world. We buy redundant machinery. Most of it's from Australia. It's machines that we buy from the mines that have either come to the end of their life, or the mines might have traded and bought a newer model. So we buy those machines in and we put them through the system.
Right. So these are one of the machines that you've bought
parts off machines we bought to refurbish. They're what we call Hitachi diggers. They're the arms. We refurbish them, and same thing, we do an exchange as well.
They're a sizable digger, those ones.
They are very big. Yeah. And here's where we have a gantry crane that can lift actually 100 tonne. So we don't have to hire cranes in or anything like that. We do our own lifting. These are all part of the Hitachi digger. You can imagine these tracks down there.
Yes.
Those booms go on the front there.
That's amazing.
That's where the engine is, all the pumps.
They're a big beast of a digger.
Now these machines are sitting here. They will be carved up for parts for the reconditioning. Yes. So we'll get components out of these machines. These are what we call D11s. They're the biggest Caterpillar bulldozer made.
Yeah. In the business, you've got to be looking ahead to say, what are the sort of parts that we'll need?
See, when you're within the industry, you get to know the fast-moving parts, the popular machines. We predominantly work with Caterpillar and Hitachi.
Yes.
And we get to know the models. We get to know what machines are used in Australia and the most popular ones. So that's through experience, James.
Yeah. It's knowing the market.
This job, you can't learn off a textbook.
No.
It's through sheer experience.
Yeah. So we've come to the end of our tour at Expressway Spares in Wauchope. Patrick, I want to thank you so much.
My pleasure, James.
For showing us what is a fantastic facility and
our pleasure.
A fascinating business. If you're interested in the story of Expressway Spares, my interview with James Dunn, the Managing Director, go to the Let's Talk Business podcast with James Price, where you view all your good podcasts.